All right, so we are here and we are mentioning we want to build a browser agent that performs a specific task for us. Specific task for us. What building blocks do we need to achieve this? Udemy. I was doing this course. Let's do this together. Right?
So look, I don't know if you're anything like me, but I'm having something of a change of heart. So I started this week quite clearly with OpenAI Agents SDK as my favorite, and obviously with Crew as my second favorite, and being a little bit skeptical of Landgraph because you sign up for a lot. But I'm coming around. I'm having a really great time, and what I've got to show you today, I feel like you're going to be there right there with me. I'm actually becoming a serious fan of Landgraph, and there's some really cool stuff. So see what you think. I'm suddenly feeling treacherous against OpenAI Agents SDK. Welcome to week 4, day 4. Introducing a new project, Sidekick, and I can't wait to tell you about it. So what are we going to do today? How are we going to go deeper? You know, we always go a bit deeper with each of these. So first of all, I'm going to introduce and unveil a new tool which is going to be incredibly powerful and which is going to allow us to do very different things. We're going to talk about structured outputs, something that's a recurring theme we've done in each of these. We'll use it here too. And we're also going to build a proper multi-agent workflow in LangGraph so that you see it really coming together. The equivalent of a handoff in OpenAI Agents SDK or having a crew of agents. We will be doing that. And as a reminder on the diagram I did last time that brings it all together, remember the terminology, a superstep is a complete invocation of the graph, and each superstep represents like one user input coming in and then flowing it through your graph of agents and tools managed through that. What we do some imports. It takes a while, there's a lot of stuff, but you're passing the same inputs otherwise. So that means that it looks very much like when we use Managed Projects, it just is one of these browser automation that's just like running behind the scenes. We're running an event loop as part of running simple things about LangGraph and LangChain. I'm becoming a convert of both, is that they come with so many great tools out of the box. Many of them are in the community package. There's actually a couple of different ways that you can run a Playwright. There's 2 sets of tools. One of them is a more simplistic one that's just a bit high level. This one that I've got here, the Playwright, I've got the tools into a variable tool. So I'm just going to print. Playwright allows you to launch a browser window. And then this LangGraph or LangChain set of tools gives us a series of tools that will allow us to interact with that browser. Open windows, navigate, read the text, read the elements, do that kind of thing. That's pretty cool. And that is something we're going to be able to arm our agent to be able to use.
Playwright, okay.
Okay, so next we're going to actually...
Let's learn more about Playwright though. What I understand about Playwright is it loads up headless Chrome. What is a headless Chrome? Let's see. Have you seen like this term using? It's a version of Chrome browser that runs without a graphical user interface. It goes to automate tasks like web scraping, taking screenshots, and repeat. Your command line tool services like enable tasks that need some real browser engine but not visual interaction. So it basically starts a browser and does everything based on code, but it does not give you a UI to like interact with it. Is that what it means? Okay. Okay. Python. Alright, I think let me check. I have a good repository for this. So I have a repo called AI Portfolio. We'll be adding a lot of the code in this. I'll work on this later. I think I'll just the first thing I would want to do is like push the code that I have done till now. Okay, let me open a new terminal. Okay, I want to exit. Okay, how do you exit Python information environment? Deactivate. Okay, let's see. Okay, I didn't know that. Interesting to know that. So deactivate is how you exit out of a virtual environment session. What I wanted to do was check the status, and I'll also be pushing PyCache. Okay. What the hell is happening? Let me just close this. Open new terminal. Control deactivate to exit. Status. Okay, we have all these files. Looks okay. Everything looks good now. We have already added the files. Let's commit. Minor changes. Push origin main. Okay, I am actually not able to see. The background is literally white. I am able to close the curtains and turn on the lights. Yeah, this is much better. Now I'm able to at least see my screen. Okay, what you're going to do is create a new folder called browser agent. Okay, new file, app, playwright example. I want to check. Okay, and I can just simply I need to be in the virtual environment, so let's move to the virtual environment. We'll do Python okay. I think we need to install pip install for playwright example. PyTest Playwright. Okay. Create a file that allows test prefix comments such as test example inside the current work directory and submit with the code below. Make sure your test name also follows test prefix. By import RE. What is RE? Playwright.sync API import page expect. Playwright.text drive title recompile test start link playwright page.get by role link name get started to click expect page.get by role heading name installation to be visible. Okay. Get HTML from page using Playwright. Playwright.sync API define browser example.com. Okay. So we are using Playwright.sync API, sync Playwright. We have created a function called run with Playwright object. Browser equals to playwright.chromium.launch. Okay, we are launching Chromium. New page. We are going to go to example.com. Instead of example.com, we should go to news.y combinator. Yeah, let's do this. News.ycombinator.com. HTML content page.content page HTML content browser close. Seems like a pretty simple example. We're basically getting the HTML and printing it out. Let's see. That's already done. Okay. Just install it. Please run the following command. Playwright install. It will install the browsers. Okay. Yeah, we were supposed to do that. Yes. If we are building a browser agent, what approach should we take? So in my mind I have two approaches. What approach should take? One is let me try. Browser edit. So in my mind, let me draw this. I have two approaches. One approach is to use HTML for LLM, and the other approach is to use image or / screenshot as input for LLM. Alright, so eventually, even if we do decide to give it a screenshot, the LLM will respond with something like click on, for example, click on Don Worsley has died. So I need to know for me to click on it, I need to have a good understanding, right? how to click on it. I need the HTML to be able to click on it. So I think like eventually we will be going for the HTML input. Okay, let's see. First of all, okay, now we have done Playwright installed. Now our example should work. Let's see. It should launch a Chromium browser, and it did. And we have, okay, just to like make you guys clearly see this, let's hold the whole app is a blob. So if I do the whole app is a blob, so you can see the HTML is right here. It took like just under a second, I guess. Okay, great. So what's next? What I want to do is click on those. Okay. I think one thing would be to. I'm thinking. Give me a second. So the data is right now very unstructured. We need a way to structure this data. I'm thinking what is the best way to structure this data. Let's see what other people have done. Building browser agent from scratch using Playwright. Here HTML in structured format. Can we use ChatGPT to create it? Okay, let's think from brute force way. If I have given you this, and if I asked you, find me articles that include the word website. So website. I think I should have like planned it a bit more before we started doing this, but we are thinking on the fly. Given a task, open relevant website, web page, navigate and take actions, give output. To track the exact action performed by the agent. So we are learning about browser use. Let's see what browser use. I think it is open source. I've heard about browser use before. Okay. It's not very easy, right? Yeah, it's kind of hella complicated. We'll come back to this.
They put these tools to good use. So this thing here is a neat little bit of Python called a dictionary comprehension. You might be very familiar with it. If not, check out the guides. We put together a dictionary by iterating through tools and creating something where the key is the name of the tool and the value is the tool itself. And that allows us to pluck out the navigate tool and the extract text tool from this list of tools. And we're then going to call the navigate tool asynchronously, navigate tool.arun with the web address of CNN, and then we're going to call await to extract the text from it and call this. So this has got nothing to do with LLMs. This is all about running Microsoft Playwright with the tools that come with LangChain. And we'll run that. Up comes the browser. It turns to CNN, and stuff is happening, and that just completed. Isn't that cool? It was like, I know it's nothing to do with AI, but it's just great technology. Come back here, and we print the text, and there we go. We've got the text from CNN.
Yeah, that's fine. If we do diff, let's see. GD.
Impressive stuff. So we can now package this together into one collection of tools. These tools that we got from Playwright plus our push notification tool, in it goes. And now it's time for us to make some agents. So the first thing we do is we do some pre-work to create our LLM, which is GPT-4 Mini for switching your favorites, and then we bind it to tools. This, remember, is what we do to deal with creating all that JSON for all of these tools. We've got a whole ton of tools now. JSON we built for all of them. And now this is our chatbot function. This is something that is going to be one of our nodes, because a node is a function, and it's something which will call, it will invoke LLM with tools, passing in the messages, and what comes out will be shoved into messaging. Will be used, create our graph builder with the states that we specify in our. And then we add from the start to the chatbot. So I said agents, it's only one agent, that's it. We get there, these tools are a bit neater than we had before. We now can control a browser window. Okay, so here we have at the end our final, it's we're going to radio sends it to us anyway, and that is our radio code and with notification with a news story headline, news headline from CNN. See what happens there. There goes the browser. I'm not touching it. Hope you're expecting that. We got a text, I can see the push, and it says indeed this push notification about
So what I want to do is like I've got the whole page content, but I want to get the titles, but I don't want to do it the HTML way. Like what I can do is find out the class of this HTML element, and I can do document.getElement, and I'll get the element. But that is not. Is that the way? Is that the best way to do this? Hmm. I want to get the top 10 news. So how do I do that? If I want to get the top 10 news, to know. I'm pretty confused. Let me think. Hmm. Okay. I think this article is the kind of article I was looking for. Okay, first thing is to get the task list. So we are making a planner agent. You can consider it as a planner agent. It takes the input task, and so for example, our task is get the Twitter news from Hacker News. Okay. Page dot go to Okay. Approve. Alright, I think we're going to take a break. When we come back, we are going to look more into Playwright and how we can do automations. Uh, yeah. So what we have understood till now is use the LLM to generate Python code. Python code basically does Playwright related stuff, and yeah, feed and create a feedback loop to the planet who decide the next step. Yeah. I think what browser use has done is done all this part, and now you can just install browser use and give it a task and it will perform the task given to it. Hmm. I think I need to plan this a bit more, so I will plan this and then come back again.